Hello, everybody. So, we are on this story, A Gift of Chappals by Vasanta Surya, and we are now well acquainted with who Mridu is, where did she go, with whom, and what all happened there. Right? We know the characters from the story: Mridu, Meena, Ravi, Lalli, the grandmothers on both the sides, the music master, Gopu Mama, and not to forget Rukumani. Okay, so today we will read the lesson line wise and I will give you the meanings of all the new words and the phrases that come along. Okay, so turn to page 18 of your honeycomb textbook and keep your finger where I'm reading. As I give you the meanings, I expect everyone to write the meanings above the word, beside the word, on the lines provided beside, okay? And not to miss on any meanings because once you know the meanings, you know the lesson well, okay? So here we go. A gift of chappals. A smiling Rukumani threw open the door. Threw open the door. This phrase means to open the door quickly and forcefully. Ravi and Meena rushed out, and Ravi pulled Mridu into the house. Wait, let me take off my slippers. Take slippers off means to remove the slippers. Protested Mridu. Protested means she objected. On the way Ravi pulled her inside, she refused to get into the house. She said, "Let me remove my slippers first." She set them out neatly near a pair of large black ones. The place where she kept her slippers also had another pair of large black slippers there. Okay? Those were grey, actually with dust. You could see the clear mark of every toe on the front part of each slipper. The marks for the two big toes were long and scrawny. The meaning for the word scrawny is given just beside the word. Okay? It also means unattractively thin and bony. Mridu didn't have much time to wonder about whose slippers they were because Ravi dragged her to the backyard. Now, what is a backyard? Backyard is a small garden behind the house, okay? Behind a thick bitterberry bush. Bitterberry is a tree, a plant, okay? A bush. There, inside, see how I take a break here because there's a comma, okay? I don't read it like there inside a torn football. No. You read it like there, inside a torn football, lined with sacking and filled with sand, lay a very small kitten, lapping up milk from a coconut half shell. We found him outside the gate this morning. He was mewing and mewing, poor thing. Mewing means crying, okay? Crying in pain. Who said this? Said Meena. It's a secret. Amma says Pati will leave for our Paddu Mama's house if she knows we have a cat. Now, there are many old people who, keep away from pets. Pets like cats and dogs, birds, they keep away from such animals. They call them creatures. People are always telling us to be kind to animals. But when we are, they scream, "Oh, don't bring that dirty creature here," said Ravi. Ravi is complaining that old people, the elder people, advise us, suggest us to help others, but when we do help others, they have a problem. Do you know how hard it is just to get a little milk from the kitchen? Because Ravi is the one who does this job and he knows the difficulty levels he has to face when fetching little milk for the kitten from the kitchen. Pati saw me with a glass in my hand just now. I told her I'm very hungry. I want to drink it. But the way she looked at me, suspiciously, I had to drink most of it to throw her off the scent. The meaning is given here. Throw her off the scent means to mislead someone so that they don't doubt you. Okay, they don't understand your real purpose. You have to stray them away from whatever you are doing. Mislead them. Throw her off the scent. Then she wanted the tumbler back. Now, what is a tumbler, people? You get these things free with, Bonvita and Horlicks these days. Tumbler is a glass with straight sides and there is no handle to hold it. Okay? It's like a glass, but it's straight and it has got no handle to hold. So that's a tumbler for you. Pati, I'll wash it myself. Why should I put you to trouble? I told her. I had to run and pour the milk into this coconut shell and then run back and wash the tumbler and put it back before she got really suspicious. Suspicious means doubtful. Now we have to think of some other way to feed Mahendran. Wow, what a name, right? Have you ever named your pets like this? Mahendran or say Bahubali. Oh my god. Mahendran? This little kitty's name is Mahendran? See the way I read, okay? You have to put expressions and your emotions and feelings into the words, and that's when they come alive. Mridu was impressed. It was a real name, not just a cute kitty cat name like, Tommy or Meow. Or there are these names, that cats have at home. But Mahendran was a real name for a cat. Actually, his full name is Mahendra Varma Pallava Punai. MP Punai for short, if you like. Yes, some people have a problem taking a full name. So for them, there are these, short forms of name and abbreviations of big words. So MP Punai for short, if you like. He's a fine breed of cat. Now, what do you mean by breed? Breed means nothing but offspring, okay? Offspring, a little one. Just look at his fur, like a lion's mane. I'm sure everybody knows the lion's mane. Okay, it's the fur or hair around an adult male lion. Female lions, that is lionesses, don't have a mane. They look more like cats, big cats. But a male lion, an adult grown up male lion, has this fur and hair all over his, neck and face. That is called the mane. And with that mane, the lion looks like a real king, right? Mane, lion's mane. And you know what? The emblem of the ancient Pallava kings was, don't you? He looked expectantly at Mridu. Now, emblem means a device or an object, okay, a thing as a distinctive badge of some distinctive organization or a company or a nation or a school, Even a school can have a badge or emblem of its own. Even a small institute can have a badge or emblem of its own. So emblem is a device or or an object that is distinctively for that nation, organization, or company, or school, or institute only. Ancient means belonging to the past. You have studied this in your history class. Ancient sculptures, ancient coins, ancient clothing, ancient pottery. So these are the things that belong to the past and that are no longer in existence today. Ancient Pallava kings was, don't you? Ravi is asking Mridu, don't you know the emblem of the ancient Pallava kings? And he's looking at her expectantly, means with an expectation that she knows the answer to this question. But poor Mridu, she only giggles. See, it's written here. Mridu giggled means laughed. A light and silly laugh is what is giggle. Okay? Think I'm joking? Ravi says, do you think I'm joking here? Well, just wait. I'll show you sometime. It's clear you don't know a thing. You don't know a thing about history. Now, Ravi thinks that Mridu is a little weak in history and she's not clear about the facts and things and happenings from the history. Haven't been to Mahabalipuram? Our class went to Mahabalipuram. I'm sorry. It's clear you don't know a thing about history. Haven't been to Mahabalipuram? Have you? He said mysteriously. Mysteriously means, again, in a way which is difficult or impossible to understand. There is some mystery about what he's saying. Okay, he asks mysteriously, haven't you been to this place called Mahabalipuram? Well, when our class went to Mahabalipuram, I saw a statue of his tatas, etc., etc., etc. The fact is, Mahendran here is descended from that very same ancient cat. Okay, Ravi is really factful about these things. He knows so much about the Pallava dynasty, the place called Mahabalipuram, and the ancestors of this cat. Okay, he's telling Mridu about the ancestors and how this cat called Mahendran has descended from them. And there's a statue of Mahendran's grandfathers at Mahabalipuram. And he knows about all this. The important thing is he knows about this, whereas Mridu doesn't know. Okay, that is what he's trying to do here. See, I know so much about this cat that I have, but you have no clue about history. A close relative, scientifically speaking, of none other than the lion. When you speak scientifically, you are speaking in reference and relevance of science. Okay, there is some science behind what you're speaking. So he says, scientifically speaking, the cat Mahendran is a close relative of a lion, of the lions. The Pallava lion, emblem of the Pallava dynasty. Ravi went on talking about the king, the Pallava kings, their dynasty, their emblems, the statues, the history, and the cat Mahendran. Walking around the bitterberry bush, waving a twig up and down, his eyes sparkling. This cat is a descendant of none other than the Mahabalipuram Rishi cat. And if I may just remind you, they worshipped cats in ancient Egypt. Yes. Before we turn to the next page, let me give you a little information about the Pallava dynasty. Okay? Pallava dynasty existed from 275 CE to 879 CE. That ruled a portion of South India, southern India, okay? And that is exactly where Mridu, Meena and Ravi live. So they know a little history, a little bit of history about their own part, about their own place. The founder of Pallava dynasty is Simha Vishnu. He was a strong and efficient ruler. After his death, his son Mahendravarman succeeded and heired the throne. Now you know from where has the kitty cat MP Punai got his first name Mahendravarma? Ravi was very excited about this history thing, okay? So he has done all his homework about Pallava dynasty, the Egyptians, they worshipped the cats and all, and he has named the cat with all these allocations, with all these references. See, the cat Mahendravarma has got its first name from the son Simha Vishnu's son who succeeded after him and ruled the Pallava dynasty. Okay? Isn't Ravi a clever boy? Yes, Ravi is such a clever boy. So we turn the page now, and here we are on page number 21. How he loved the sound of his own voice. When you are clear about some facts and figures, and when when you are sharing those facts and figures with people, you're very confident, and your voice is very confident, right? So Ravi is also talking with the same confidence here, and he's just loving his own voice. Meena and Mridu exchanged looks. Now, these poor girls who have no clue about what Ravi is talking, and neither they have a clue about the history. Okay, so they are exchanging looks, means what? They are looking at each other. When do you do that? When you think that the third person who is talking about things that you don't know. And you're surprised, you're perplexed about whatever he's telling you. You exchange look with your like ones. Like ones means the ones who are understanding very little like you are doing, right? So these poor girls, they're looking at each other, exchanging looks of, surprise and don't know what he's talking about. What does that have to do with anything? Mridu demanded. What is the connection between history and Pallava dynasty and this small kitten here? Is what Mridu is, having in her mind. Huh, I'm telling you, this cat is descended from the Egyptian cat god. No, goddess, Bastet. Yeah, that's it. Now, what is Bastet? If you people, watch the National Geographic or the History Channel, you must have come across this word bastard many a times, because there are these episodes when they show about the pharaohs and the pyramids and mummification, and they used this word. I have come across this word many times. So what I know about bastard is these are Egyptian goddesses of, home, of house, and these are the ones who protect the house from evil spirits and diseases especially related to the women and children of a house. So the bastet is an Egyptian goddess who takes care of the house, women in the house, children in the house, and she looks after all of these things, and she also keeps everyone away from diseases and shortcomings. Okay, so Ravi here is telling that this cat is descended from the Egyptian cat god, that is Bastet. Okay, so the girl says, Mridu says, so what? Well, one of the descendants of that cat goddess was a stowaway in one of the Pallava ships. The meaning for the word stowaway is given here. Stowaway means one who secretly boards a transport, secretly boards a ship or a plane or a car or a bus in order to, escape from the payments that he has to make for the traveling. So this cat had boarded a ship secretly, and that is how it reached India from Egypt. This is all according to Ravi. Okay, so and his descendant was the Mahabalipuram Rishi cat, whose descendant is Ravi flourished his twig at Mahindran. See, he's waving the twig in the air. Children, picture these things in your mind. Close your eyes and picture these things. Ravi is having a twig in his hand, okay, a thin branch of a plant, and he's waving it all over, and he's telling all these things about the cat and the history and Egyptian cats and Mahabalipuram Rishi cat and Pallava dynasty, and he is in full throttle with all these informative pieces. Okay, and finally he points the twig at Mahendran and says, MP Punai here is the descendant. Ravi flourished his twig at Mahendran. MP Punai. Whoop! Eek! He shrieked, very pleased with himself. See, he's very proud of himself, the facts that he knows, and the way he's presenting Mahendran in front of these small girls who have no idea of what he's talking about, okay, who are so less informed about history, so less informed about these things that are happening here. So he's so proud of himself. Flourished means what? Grow and develop. Ravi flourished his twig at Mahendran means he pointed. He just waved it in the air and he pointed the twig at MP Punai. Shrieked means he screamed, a high pitched sound like ew, like that. And he was very pleased with himself. That's when he said, whoop, eek. See? And he was so pleased with himself. Mahendran looked up, alarmed. Alarmed means disturbed. That poor kitty cat had no idea what people were talking around him. What do you think, Mahendran really was a Pallava dynasty cat, a Mahabalipuram rishi cat, an Egyptian cat god cat? No, he was a simple, small, cute creature sitting there lapping milk from the half torn football coconut shell, whatever it was. Okay, and he was disturbed when Ravi was making all these shrieking and screaming sounds. He had just been sharpening his claws on the edge of the coconut shell. Mahendran, the cat, was busy doing his own thing. He had no idea what Ravi was talking about. He had no idea what the kids were discussing. But worse than Ravi's awful whoop eek was a creech. Okay, worse than the sounds that Ravi made, there was this other sound that was coming, like a creech sound from the window. Where was it coming from? It was coming from the window. What a weird sound. If Mridu was startled, MP Punai was frightened out of his wits. Mridu was only startled means she was only shocked with this awful means unpleasant sound. But MP Punai here was frightened out of his wits means he was frightened to such an extent that he lost track of what is happening. And what happened later? See, hair standing on end. He bounced up and scurried towards a bamboo tray of red chilies. Scurried means he moved hurriedly towards a bamboo tray of red chilies that had been set out to dry. Now, everywhere in India, I think all over the world, when you want to dry something, you set that thing out in the sun, And we Indians, we have this, tradition of, laying a piece of cloth and, all our eatables that have to be dried in the air, hot sun, that have to be dried in the hot sun are placed over the piece of cloth, and then they soak up the sun, dry as possibly as they can, and then they are ready to be stored in the house. Okay, so the women in the house had put out some chilies to dry, and that had been set out to dry. Yes, the red chilies. Trying to hide beneath it, he tipped a few chilies over himself. Who? The cat Mahendran. Meow! He howled miserably. Howled miserably means he cried out of distress. Oh my God, what sound is this? And what are these things that are falling on me? The red chilies. The screeching went on and on. What's that noise? Said Mridu. Even Mridu is, startled. She thinks, what awful sound is this? This is so unpleasant to the ear. That's Lally learning to play the violin, grunted Ravi. Grunted means he spoke in a low and short voice, most probably like the, pigs make that sound, grunt sound. He spoke in that manner. That's Lally learning to play the violin, probably like that. Now, I don't know how to make that sound, but then that is how he must have said it. She'll never learn a thing. The music master just goes on playing like a train whizzing on and on. A train whizzing on and on means a train moving softly, swiftly through the air, making that smooth sound, and Lully all the time derailing. Derailing means leaving the track and going somewhere else. She doesn't know what the music master is playing, and she neither can catch what he is playing, and she is going completely off the track all the time. So Ravi basically is complaining about how bad Lalli plays the violin. Okay, so this is all for today, children. Hope you have understood the lesson, the words that are in the lesson, and I hope now there's nothing difficult for you in this lesson. Should there be any word that you haven't yet understood, you can comment and the teachers will reply. Thank you. Bye bye.